All right. Hi, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. We'll be starting in another 1 or 2 minutes. Please wait patiently. Hi, everyone. Hi. I can see your messages. Yes, it's every day, same time, 5 to 6 p.m. Good evening, all of you. I can see your messages. Lovely response. Thank you so much. All right, so it's 5 p.m. now, and here we start. First of all, welcome all of you, a very warm welcome to all of you, by the way, for our first YouTube live streaming on our channel. And let me tell you about it that for registration, you have a link just below in the description. So you can register from there. You can also call your relatives and friends, family, whoever needs this, free Shiksha IELTS classes. So these classes have been started by Shiksha Study Abroad, and we have started this today itself, 1st June, and we'll be carrying it forward in the whole of month. Okay, that is June 2023. And we'll be carrying out all the discussions about IELTS exam in detail. That is all the 4 modules we'll be covering up. Okay, and you will get access to free sample papers, question and answers, and assessments. So yes, it's free of cost, so do make use of it. And without any further delay, let's start with today's webinar. And the topic for today's webinar is, as you can see on your screen, IELTS reading section. So we'll be covering up every, bit and small things about the reading module. So let's start with it. So as you can see on your screen, to be discussed, what all we'll be discussing here. First, I'll be giving you some, instructions, and I'll be telling you something about the pattern as well. Then we'll be going through the question types. That means whatever questions you will encounter in your reading exam, okay, in detail. And of course, your time management, then your academic versus general training reading. That means the differences between the two. I'll be also throwing some light on tips and tricks and the do's and don'ts. Okay. And last but not the least, we'll be throwing some light on books and references. So I'll be giving you basically some names of the books, from where you can just go and practice your IELTS session. All right. So let's start with it. Okay, so I can see many comments on the comment section. You are allowed to write your queries and comments on the section. But yes, please allow me some time to finish this slide, this whole PPT, and then I'll take up your queries and questions in the end. Okay, don't worry, you'll get time in the end to ask your questions. So without any further delay, let's start with the pattern first. So let's see what is the pattern of your reading paper. So IELTS academic reading test format is divided into 3 sections basically, okay? And during your preparation, you will come across different types of passages. So what are those different types of passages? Narrative, descriptive, or argumentative. If the passage contains technical terms, then a simple glossary is provided to you. So what does this mean? Glossary means the words and the meanings, okay, for those words. So if there is any difficult word in the passage which you find, definitely the meaning for those words will be given to you if it's technical, okay. Then the duration of your IELTS academic reading is 60 minutes. That is your equivalent to 1 hour. Now the number of questions which you get in the reading paper, that is 14 total. And topics are descriptive or factual, totally and majorly based on facts, nothing else. All right, so let's throw some light on section 1, 2 and 3. It consists of long texts and are designed for candidates who wish to enroll in universities or professional courses. All the texts are taken from journals, magazines, or even newspapers. So whatever text you will encounter in your, reading IELTS exam, those will be taken from journals, magazines, or newspapers. And I'm sure many of you must not be, very fond of reading newspapers and magazines. So do bring this into your habit because this will help you in your reading paper. All right, let's move forward. The topics have a specific style that is written in narrative, descriptive or argumentative manners to test a candidate's skills. So let me tell you, here in IELTS reading exam, what they test, what the examiners test is the candidate's skills and not the knowledge. So do focus on the skills. Passages may also include diagrams or graphs. Okay, so there might be some diagrams or graphs in your paper, so you have to just be aware of that. Moving on to the next slide, which says IELTS General Training Reading Exam. So let's read about it. The test format is divided into 3 sections. So again, just like academic paper, your general IELTS IELTS General Training Reading Test format is also divided into 3 sections. Let's read about it. Excerpts taken from notices, advertisements, leaflets, newspapers, instruction manuals, books, or magazines are in these sections. All right. Now, during preparation, you will get to know that the difficulty level of the text increases with each section. And again, if we look at the duration of the IELTS General Training Reading paper, then it's the same as academic. That is 1 hour, 60 minutes. And the number of questions which we get, 40 in total. Topics will be descriptive or factual again. Now, moving on to another slide, which says section 1, 2 and 3. So section 1, it may consist of 2 or more short texts. These texts usually contain factual information. For example, an advertisement for a restaurant or sports center facilities. Section 2, it may consist of 2 texts or more complex language than section 1. These texts are based on workplace survival, for example, pay schemes, work conditions, or contracts. Then section 3 is based on, it consists of a long text and is usually the most complex of all three sections. So you will see that in even, academic and general training IELTS reading, section 3 is the most trickiest and most difficult. Okay. So this section is mostly same for both the categories. The difference lies in section 1 and 2, okay, between academic and general training. So this text revolves around topics related to general subjects and interests. For example, passages are taken from documents, magazines, fictional or non-fictional books. All right. Okay, let's throw some light on instructions now. What are the instructions which you have to follow for your IELTS reading paper? That is, practice reading different kinds of texts in English to develop the habit of reading quickly. As I said, many of you must not be, very fond of reading. So here comes the first instruction, which I just highlighted a few seconds before. So do read, okay? Before you answer any question, read each question properly to make it easier to find answers later. If you can, mark possible answers while you read. If you are taking IELTS on computer, make notes or even highlight any section of the text. Okay? Start with a cursory reading of the text to have a generic idea of what it is about. Once you are a little familiar, read it carefully, keeping in mind the questions to which you need to find the answers. Since you do not have to apply your own knowledge to answer the questions, All answers will be there in the passage itself. Read carefully to not miss them. Okay. So there are many questions related to this that, ma'am or sir, I have not got the answer for this particular question. I do not think so. This question is there in the paper. But that is not true, because IELTS reading exam is very much factual. So it is very much based on facts, and definitely you will find all your answers in your reading paper. Okay. So look at the text, read it very carefully. Now, moving on to the another slide, another set of instructions. So while answering, ensure that you are using the correct spellings as given in the passage. All right. Spellings play a very major role in IELTS reading. Let me help you with that tip. Next instruction is, sometimes there can be questions to test upon your understanding of the given passage. For instance, the question could be about the topic, highlighting particular words or ideas, denoting the core message of the passages. It's always important, guys, to underline the important information and the keywords which you find, because that will make it easy for you to find the answers for difficult questions. All right. Now, moving on with another instruction, it is a good practice to mark important words as you read along. For instance, if there are important dates, mark them. It becomes easier to spot them in a question. If a question is asked around the same. All right. Now, ensure your spellings are always correct, especially when you are copying from the passage. If you are attempting IELTS on paper, write your answers down on the answer sheet. You will not get extra time later on to transfer your answers. Now, here I come to another point, and I will be discussing it in the upcoming slides as well in the today's webinar. The time management factor. That is something which many of us are confused about, and many of us think that how should we manage time. So yes, I'll be helping you with that as well. And yes, guys, just a gentle small reminder, if you have not registered with us yet, please click on the link in the description below so that you get registered right away and you get access to many free sample papers and our free counselors, our expert counselors who are willing to help you in your IELTS exam, as well as to download our videos, which will be available after 1 or 2 days of the webinar. All right. Moving on to another part of the slide, which is question types. So let's discuss what kinds of questions do we have in the IELTS reading exam. So as you can see on your screen, question types for academic and general training, they remain the same. Okay. You can expect a variety of question types in the general and academic reading texts, such as multiple choice, identifying information, identify a writer's view or claims. So let me help you with this. Identifying information is nothing but your true, false, and not given. All right. And you're identifying a writer's views and claims. This is yes, no, and not given. All right. Then there are matching information questions. There are questions related to matching headings. There are matching features, matching sentence endings, sentence completion, summary, note, table, and flowchart completion. As well as we also have diagram label completion and short answer questions. So these are few of the questions which you might encounter in your paper. Not every question is there in your question paper, but yes, many of them you will find regularly in your IELTS exam. All right. So do practice them before you even sit for your IELTS paper. All right. Now coming up to academic reading, the IELTS academic test is used for university admissions and professional registrations around the world. Okay. I'm sure most of you must be, aware about this, that why do we take IELTS academic and IELTS general training. So the questions in this section will test your ability to understand content present in academic materials. Basically, people who want to go for their graduation and post-graduation or want to study for higher courses. All right. To prepare for the test day, make sure you read a range of texts on different topics from books, journals, magazines, and newspapers. So let me tell you guys a funny element in between, that I know most of you are not fond of reading, but yes, again and again, this factor is coming in front of you, this tip or this instruction that yes, you have to read. Okay, so you cannot just skip from here. All right, moving on to the general training reading now. The IELTS general training reading passages are extracts from materials that you can find on a day-to-day basis in English-speaking country. So the questions in this section will test your ability to understand the content present in everyday materials, such as newspapers, advertisements, handbooks, and notices. All right. So these are few of the things from where you can find your material for practice, for general training reading. You can read a lot from these sources. So to increase your vocabulary, to enhance your vocab, as well as to make yourself fluent in the reading paper. All right, now we come to one of the biggest factors, which is like a ghost, I can say, because time management is not easy at all. So let me help you with that, how you can manage your time in the IELTS reading paper. Now, there are a few tips which you have to just go through and remember. So skim through the passage. Now, this skimming I have, told and talked about in my previous webinars as well. And I will be, talking about it in future as well. Let me tell you the little summary about skimming. What is skimming? I'm sure most of you must have heard of this word. Okay. So, yes, skimming means to go through the paper very quickly, to have a glance through the paper. All right. And then scanning is another word which you'll encounter when you're practicing your reading IELTS. So scanning is something when you highlight the important information or you underline the keywords just to find the answer or to reach the answer for the question. All right. So these are basically summary meanings of these two words, skimming and scanning. Now, skim through the passage. Now you know what you have to do to the passage. Next is pay attention to the introduction and conclusion. This is very important. Once you read first few lines and the last few lines of your passage, you'll be able to know what is the context of the passage or what is the passage talking about. Then you can identify keywords. This is another tip. Read all questions before you begin answering. Answer every question. Now, why is this necessary? Why do you have to answer every question? Because let me tell you, IELTS, any paper, be it reading, listening, writing, or speaking, it does not have any negative marking. Okay, so it's best to write and guess any word or any answer which you think is correct, instead of leaving the blanks. So answer every question. And next is check your answers. So revision is very important. Keep the last 1 or 2 minutes in the end to revise. Okay. Now we come to your academic versus general training reading. So this is basically the difference. There is not much difference, but let's see what do we have to say about it. The IELTS writing and reading tests are different in academic and general training tests. So this means that your speaking and listening is same for both the categories. The difference lies in IELTS writing and reading tests. All right. So somebody is asking me, ma'am, where to register? Well, you have the link for registration in the description below of this particular live video. You'll find the link and then you can access all the free sources and materials which we are providing. All right. Okay, coming back to the slide, the academic test will contain topics suitable for anyone entering university or professional institutions. And the general training test will contain topics based on general interest. So this is the major, difference between both the categories. And as far as writing and reading is concerned, reading and writing, I'll be telling in detail in the upcoming webinars. So yes, do register with us if you want to know more free content about these two papers as well as listening and speaking. So we'll be covering up the whole IELTS syllabus in this month. So yes, do register so that you can access all the free sources. Now, IELTS academic and IELTS general training. The IELTS academic test has been developed if you wish to study at university or college as an undergraduate or postgraduate student or join or gain entry into a professional institution. So if you're willing to do any of these, then you should go for IELTS academic. And if you're willing to, this test, general training test has been developed to test your everyday and non-academic English. So if you're willing to go for this particular category, then you should give the IELTS exam for general training. Okay. Now, you may need the IELTS general training test for entry into secondary education, a college or education training center, or to migrate to an English-speaking country. Now, these are few of the things because of which you might have to give general training IELTS. So before you sit for your IELTS exam, I would recommend you to go to a good counselor, which we have on our, channel. We have very good, expert counselors, I would call, to help you in your IELTS exam, where you can, just register from the free link which we have provided in the description below, and you will get access to all the counselors which we have in our team, and they will give you the free counseling regarding your IELTS academic and general training paper. Okay, so whichever category you would like to go for, they will give you the detailed explanation of that and why you should take that. All right, now moving on to another part of the slide, which is tips and tricks. Now, what are the tips and tricks? These are basically the strategies. And why do we need these strategies? Because in IELTS paper, especially or specifically if I talk about reading and listening both, then every question, I must say, is, having a different structure, is having a different format. Even in writing and speaking is having a different strategy to solve the question. So yes, you do need the strategies and tricks to solve certain questions. Now, what are the tips and tricks for Band 9? First is read every day. Now again, this factor has come up here. So this will not leave you alone until you start reading. So yes, do start reading, every day. Now read the questions first. This is very, very important. Why it is important? Let me tell you. Because, I have seen myself, the IELTS candidates, reading the whole passage first and then going to the question. This is very wrong strategy. So first you need to read the questions. Then you should go back to the passage to understand what do you need as an answer. And then you can come back to the question to see if the answer matches the requirement of the question. So this is the main strategy, and this is, the important tip which I give usually to my IELTS candidates as well. So do read the questions first and not the passage. Next tip is reread the questions and understand them. Understanding the questions is very important. For example, if the question is asking A, then you should not answer B. Okay, the answer should be related to A. So deviation is not allowed in IELTS, even in writing especially. So when we'll be covering up writing module in detail in the upcoming webinars, you'll understand that how, deviation creates a loss of band. And bands, obviously, everybody needs 7+ bands. So yes, coming to the next tip, that is scan, skim, and summarize. So far, we are already aware of this, that what is scanning, what is skimming, and what is summarizing. So what you can do is you can make use of these 3 tips together and, make it easier for you to find the difficult answers. Now, coming to the last tip, which is key in the keywords in your head. Now, what does it mean is that the keywords are very important. All right. You do not need to read each and every phrase, each and every word, or each and every line. That is not required out of you, because IELTS is not testing your knowledge about the text or about the passage. It is just testing your skills. How do you, how well do you find the answers to your questions? That is the skill basically which you need in your reading paper. All right, so this was like a good news, right? You do not need to know about the passage or the text. All right, coming to the do's and don'ts now. So what are the do's and don'ts of IELTS reading paper? So do's, keep track of time. You should not spend more than 60 to 90 seconds on each question. Very important. So do not lose more than 1 minute. That is minimum, okay, on each question. Remember, you get only 60 minutes to finish the section. The reading test is the most strategic part of the IELTS. And keep a check on your watch to, make sure that you do not run out of time. So yes, keep a watch with you so that you do not lose time. So even if you're losing time, at least you know that how much time is left. All right, next step is read the instructions carefully. Now, IELTS candidates often lose easy marks because they fail to read the instructions properly. This is common in the reading and listening tests because they give very specific instructions. If you don't follow these instructions exactly, you will end up getting the question wrong. So what do I mean by instructions here, everyone? That is, sometimes you'll see in the paper, not sometimes, in fact, every time, that when you encounter the paper, there will be instructions like, use no more than 2 words, or use no more than 3 words and or a number, something like this, right? So these instructions are very important because for example, if you're given 2 words as a limit and you're writing, 3 words, then it will be wrong. So yes, read the instructions very carefully and strike off the wrong answers. Another do. Yes. So elimination process is very important and it helps you to come to the right answer very quickly. So when answering the MCQs, follow the process of elimination and cross out the answers that you know are wrong. Very important tip. Please make a note of it. This will make it easier for you to answer the MCQs correctly and quickly. Then again, last but not the least, practice. So if you're thinking that, you can sit in the exam without practicing and you can get band 8 or 9 or maybe even 7 plus, which is your requirement, then you're wrong. You might get by luck, but yes, 90% of the time candidates do not get. So please practice, practice, practice before you sit for the exam. Now, you should take up reading journals, magazines, general knowledge books before taking the IELTS, and this will help you practice for the writing section as well. Okay, not just reading. But remember to read analytically, trying to figure out the point that the author is trying to make, and practice writing summaries of what you read. So once you start writing summaries by your own self, after reading a passage or a text, then definitely you will have some idea that, what kind of text do you get, or what is the summarization of the text, or how do you find the correct answer. All right. So yes, I am seeing the questions popping up in the comment section. Very happy to see this, but please allow me some more time to finish with the webinar and I'll take your questions in the end. Don't worry. All right, coming up to don'ts now. So what are the don'ts of IELTS reading paper? Read the whole passage. Okay, this is first don't. That means you do not have to read the whole passage. You will not have enough time to read the entire passage. Instead, you need to skim through it by reading the headings, subheadings, and watch out for the keywords and phrases. Now, paraphrase the content. Now, you do not have to paraphrase the content. Okay, this is another don't. So examiners are looking for answers that match exactly what was asked in the question. So make sure you write word to word what is written in the text. That means, now this particular don't means that you cannot use the words by your own knowledge or by your own expertise. You have to use the words which are given as facts in the IELTS reading paper. All right, you cannot use any other word apart from the words in the text. Now, okay, what does MCQ means? MCQs are basically your multiple choice questions, okay, which we'll be covering up in detail in the upcoming webinars. So don't worry about that. For now, just know that MCQ is a short abbreviation for multiple choice questions. So yes, if you have not registered with us, whoever has asked this question, do register so that you can get access to multiple choice questions. All right. Okay, coming to the next don't, which is leave any blanks. So you do not have to leave any blank. As I said, there is no negative marking. So please do not leave any blank. And do not skip, rechecking your answers. As I said in the one of the do's as well, that do revise. Okay, keep 1 or 2 minutes in the end for the revision of the paper. All right. Now, in the end, we come to books and references. Now, what are these? I have listed down some, good books for you, especially the official Cambridge Guide to IELTS. This is one of the favorites for many IELTS candidates. And then we have Barron's IELTS Super Pack. We also have IELTS Practice Test +2 with the key and CD pack. And of course, we have the Cambridge IELTS Academic Students book. So this book is particularly, in very much hype amongst the IELTS candidates. And there are, I think, now 17 to 18 Cambridge IELTS books. So you can go and start practicing from these books, which are listed down here. You can, you can take a screenshot or even, you can wait for the video to come up after 1 or 2 days. And then you can make a note of these books and choose whichever best, suits your practice session. Now, with this, I come to the end of the webinar and I come to the favorite part of mine and of course yours too, I'm sure. So I would like to answer your questions now one by one. So now you can start asking your questions on the comment section. And yes, I would love to answer them. All right, so someone is asking me, can we get, okay, let me start from the beginning. So yes, hi, good evening everyone. All right. So the first question which has come up is a very common question amongst the IELTS candidates, that is it hard to, get a good score in writing test? Not at all. Not at all. Trust me. It's not hard. It's just that you need some strategies and tips, which I'll be sharing in the upcoming webinars. So do visit our link, which is in the description below, to, get more knowledge about the IELTS writing module. So yes, it's not tough at all. You just need a basic, grammar skill, and you need good access to internet. Yes, so that you can attend these sessions, right? Okay, so yes, we have the webinar daily from 5 to 6 p.m. Okay, every weekday. That means all 5 days. So yes, can we give the test online at our own place? Definitely. Now we have the CBT, paper as well. So wherever you're residing, I do not mean home or your own house, but yes, you can just directly go to the IDP link, or you can even, check out from our own expert counselors who will be guiding you for the IELTS paper, that when it is held, what are the timings, what are the patterns of the paper, and when and how do you have to, get it. So yes, we have the availability of CBT, that is computer-based test as well. So earlier we only had IELTS on paper, but now we have it on computer as well. So you can, give it online too. Okay. Yes, so definitely every candidate gets a different center. So I think counselors would be the best people to tell you all about the exam. All right. And yes, again, this question can be addressed by the counselors very well, that what is the difference between TOEFL and IELTS. Basically, both are same content-wise, quite similar. But yes, there are few differences in the terms of colleges and universities. Some colleges, they accept, TOEFL. For example, US universities mostly accept TOEFL. But yes, IELTS is more globally accepted. So you can just check out from the counselors, what do you need for your, graduation or post-graduation, and which exam should you give. So I think they will be the best people to talk about it. MCQs, I have already told you about. So yes, please click on the description link below, which is given here, so that you can register for the upcoming webinars as well, which we are having on a daily basis on the weekdays. And you will also get access to, the monthly schedule in the IELTS calendar. So what all we'll be covering in, this upcoming month of June, you will get access to that as well. And of course, you will get free sample papers, free sources for your practice sessions. All right, so the book names, I would suggest you can go with the official guide, okay, to IELTS. And also you can go with the IELTS Cambridge, which are 17 books in total. So you can start practicing from book number 11 or 12, because before that it will be obsolete, it will be outdated. So no need to practice from there. Okay, so even if you joined late, that's not an issue. You have just missed one session. We have many upcoming sessions, okay, in future in the month of June. So you will also get access to this particular video, which I just, showed you as a PPT. So you will get the access to this PPT. You will get access to the sample papers. So do not worry about that. If you have missed out anything, guys, then you can just go back to the video, which will be shared, 1 or 2 days after the uploading. So yes, you can access it from there. All right, so let me just, I'll do one thing for your own, convenience. I'll put my screen on this particular slide so that anyone who has missed out the name of the books, those books can be found here. All right. So is there any registration fees for IELTS exam? Definitely you have to pay the fees for IELTS exam. IELTS exam is not free. Okay, it's, yeah, it is, costly a little bit, yes. But yes, you do have to pay the fee, guys. But something which is free here is something which is free and, in terms of context and papers and material, that is our free Shiksha IELTS classes, which you can, find by clicking on the link in the description. So yes, that is something which is free. So do make use of these free sessions so that you're, a pro till you reach your exam date. Uh, okay. So someone is asking, is the pattern and syllabus for academic and general training is common? No, it's not common. As I said, reading and writing are the modules in which the differences lie. Okay, and speaking and listening is same for everyone. So, is it better to take the exam online or offline? I guess I particularly suggest my candidates to go offline for certain reasons. But yes, online is also a very good option because you get the results very early as compared to your PBT or paper-based exam. So yes, there are both pros and cons. You can check it out on Google as well. And of course, our counselors are there to help you to understand the both categories so that you can choose easily which one do you want to go for. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Someone is saying pleasure to study with you. We are glad to give these free sessions and help you out in your exam. So yes, we are having. It was just a reading, overview about the pattern, syllabus, and everything. You will get, access to every video of ours, and we'll be conducting webinars on a daily basis. And I'll be covering up, IELTS in detail. In detail means I'll be covering up MCQs of reading, MCQs of listening, and then match the following, sentence completion. Every question will be covered. So don't worry about that. Whichever question you think is, your weak area, you can join and just see for yourself. Okay. So how can I prepare well in 1 month? Well, you still have 1 month, and the whole of June, I'll be covering up myself as a trainer here in the webinar, and I'll be covering up all the details about IELTS. So nothing, better than this. So yes, you can prepare in 1 month. 1 month is a very good time to prepare for your, IELTS exam. And I'll be helping you out personally here on this platform so that you can crack your exam easily with good bands. Okay, so minimum reading band to get it very easier on which sections. So I think in reading, first section is the easiest, right? As I told you in the description as well in one of the slides in webinar. And also section 2 becomes slightly difficult and section 3 is the trickiest. So as you, proceed with the sections in the reading and listening paper, the sections keep on becoming very, difficult and tricky. Okay, so what do you mean by keywords? Keywords are the words which you really need for your answer, or maybe it might be sometimes, all or few, some. These are also some of the keywords which change the context of the passage or the text. However, but, although. Okay, so these are few of the words which you have to very particularly note. So these are the keywords which I mean by the term keyword. Which is better to score, online or offline? I think both are easy. It's just that for online paper, if you want to go for computer-based tests, then definitely you should be a pro with, if not pro, then at least you should know the basic skills of computer or laptop so that you're able to handle your paper well when you're giving it on computer. Okay. Well, every candidate has a different caliber, so I cannot state in one statement that yes, you'll be a pro or you'll be very much okay with the IELTS syllabus in a month. Well, every candidate has a different caliber. It depends on your skills, on your caliber, as well as the major point is your practice sessions. So here we do not require any knowledge. It's just about the tips and strategies, and it's just about the skills. Okay. All right. So, is there any age requirement for the exam? Well, luckily, no. Okay. So, anybody can give the exam. Well, if you are in 10th standard, then definitely you should wait for your 12th boards, and then you can register for your IELTS exam, because definitely before that you cannot apply for it. Okay, and your scorecard is also very crucial factor in getting the IELTS score, or even migrating to a different country. So yes, do well in your boards and then register for your IELTS paper. Okay. So IELTS paper can be written as many times as you want. It is held also, many times in a month. So you can just check from the counselors, how the paper is given and when it is given. So they will help you out with the months and dates as well. So there are different dates which come up, from the IDP and British Council, who are responsible for conducting IELTS. Okay, so difference between IELTS and PTE, again, a question which will be given by the counselor as well. But just to give you a hint, IELTS is basically, a very much globally accepted paper, whereas PTE is less known for now. But yes, it is gaining recognition day by day, and it is majorly, accepted in Australia. Whereas IELTS, if you can see, IELTS is majorly accepted globally, everywhere. Okay. Which one to choose? Again, with the help of counselor, you'll be able to know. So IELTS, we have both the categories, paper-based and computer-based, whereas PTE is purely online. Okay, you cannot take this paper, PTE, offline. You have to give it online. Will it help for applying in international schools as an EASL teachers? Yes, definitely. You should give the academic, IELTS, academic IELTS, just to, enhance in your ESL teaching and training, to enhance your skills as an ESL teacher. That really improves. Yes, we have the IELTS material, in our description. So just click on the link, guys, which is given below in the description. Thank you very much. Okay, welcome, welcome. Is there any certificate for the course? Definitely, once you pass the IELTS exam, once you get your score, you will get the certificate as well online, which will show you the result for all the 4 modules of your IELTS paper. So yes, you do get the certificate. How to register, ma'am? You can register from the link which is given in below in the description of this particular video which we are having. So there is a link. Please click on that link to register yourself right away, so that you can get access to more webinars, more free sessions. And as I told you, if you have missed out this sentence from me, so we are having the daily IELTS webinars, which has started from today itself. So you have a whole month, and in this 1 month we'll be covering up every bit of IELTS in detail. So yes, I would suggest you to make use of this free session, or the free sessions which we are going to have even in future. Okay, so today we had the overview of reading, and tomorrow we are going to cover up, one of the questions of the reading paper, that is diagram labeling. So we'll be starting with that, and then we'll be moving forward with the other questions of your reading, and then we'll be covering up listening in detail, then the writing tasks, writing task 1 and 2 of letter writing, report writing, essay writing, everything we'll be covering up. And of course, speaking, let's not forget that. Okay, so how to get today's lecture? Again, as I told you, you can get access to this particular video and every other video which we'll be having live. You can get access to it after 1 or 2 days of uploading. Okay, so just keep checking the link which is given in the description so that you can get access. Well, these all books have been listed in front of you, so you can just practice from any of the books. But 2 main books which I just told you are official Cambridge Guide to IELTS, and also Cambridge IELTS Academic. and even general training. So there are 17 Cambridge IELTS books from where you can practice. So I would recommend you to go from 10th book or 11th book itself, because before that all the books are obsolete. Shiksha Abroad provide free material? Yes. Shiksha Abroad does provide free material, free sample papers, free counseling sessions, and of course free webinars, which we are having right now. So do click on the link, guys. I'm again and again repeating. So if you're joining right now, then welcome again. And very soon we'll be saying bye-bye to you. But yes, before you do bye-bye and before you listen to many of other questions and answers from me, do click on the link so that you do not miss out on any other class from tomorrow. So tomorrow also we have a class. Every weekday we have a class, 5 to 6 p.m. Yes, definitely. So if you follow these sessions very accurately, and if you are very much precise with your, persistent with your practice sessions, then definitely nobody can stop you from getting good bands. Okay. But for that, you'll have to attend these sessions daily and you'll have to practice daily. Not just attending the sessions will help you, but you'll have to do some practice from your own side. And then you can come up here and ask your doubts. Okay. We'll also be having the doubt sessions, by the way. Let me tell you that we'll be having assessments and I'll be giving you 1 or 2 questions from each question type in reading, listening, and every module. And yes, we'll be covering up everything in detail and you will be getting assessments in the end of every module. So for example, once we finish the reading module in detail, in the end of the reading module, I'll be giving you assessment and we'll be solving 1 or 2 question types from each of the categories. Okay, so the link can be taken from the description below. So just click on the description below. Okay, the link is given in the description below. So just click on it and you will get access to everything. Sample papers, free counseling sessions. You can go, check out our counselors who are there to help you. Okay, so again, whichever exam you want to, talk about or whichever information you want to know about, for example, be it, OET or PT, TOEFL or GRE, GMAT, IELTS, anything that can be taken into consideration by our counselors. So we have expert counselors to help you on each of these exams. Is it pen or pencil that is required for writing the session? Well, you can use any one of the two. But yes, I definitely recommend or advise my candidates personally to use a pencil so that even if you miss out anything or even if you want to correct anything, then you can erase and, write it again. But it's not same for pen, right? So if you think that you will not make any mistake, then definitely go for pen. But yes, pencil is advisable. So the highest score definitely is 9. People have got 9. I have myself trained candidates who have got the highest bands in not just reading, but in every module. So I'm not kidding about that, definitely. So with, persistent practice, with continued practice and these sessions, this will help you to improve your score. If you have given IELTS before, then definitely it will help you to improve your score. But if you've not given IELTS before, then it will, surely give some tips and strategies and, help you in a certain way from where you can just migrate to your own favorite destination, right? That is what we are here for, to help you get to your destination. Okay, so how to improve for the last reading part, which is long and critical. Definitely, as I said, and I will be covering up certain questions also of reading. So yes, you can cover up all the, questions in the upcoming webinars. You can see how I will, translate everything so that it becomes easy for you. And also you will see how these sessions will help you to get to your desired bands. All right. So yes, the last last question which I just read, you can improve your last reading passage by practicing, by skimming and scanning, by managing your time, first of all. Okay, this is very important. So time management is a very crucial factor, not just for the last passage, but for every exam, listening, speaking, and writing as well. Well, lowest score is zero, from where the world started. From where the world started, right? It started from zero. So yes, the lowest score is zero, which nobody has got till now, fortunately. But yes, people do get 4 and 5, which is considered as below average. But yes, you never know, because there are many universities and colleges which do accept 4 and 5 also as a band. So yes, just check out with the counselors what kind of bands do you need, what colleges or universities you're willing to study in, so that you can get you can get an idea that how many bands do you need, and accordingly you can do your practice then. You can aim for your. All right, I'm in for the lecture. Even I'm in for the lecture to teach all of you and to make you, move towards your success and migrate to your favorite destinations, to study or to live or to work, whatever, right? How can we attempt listening CBT test while listening to audio and answering questions at the same time? Is there any extra time given to no, no. So extra time is not given in CBT paper. Only 2 minutes are given to you just to revise and write your answers on the screen itself. But in the paper-based test, PBT, you get certain time, which is 10 minutes in the end of the listening paper, to transfer your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. So yes, we'll be talking about all of this when we'll be covering up listening, in the upcoming webinars. Yes. So September intake, yes, definitely. Please do get in touch with our counselors. So you can get in touch with our counselors from the link which is given in the description below. So please click on the link and you will get free counseling. Free of cost. Okay. So the webinars or the sample papers or the counseling sessions, whatever we are providing on this platform of Shiksha Study Abroad, it is all free of cost. So you can ask about any exam, any category, any college, whichever you want to go on. All right. So somebody saying thank you, welcome, welcome. So we have few minutes more for the questions, and then we'll wind up in another 5 to 7 minutes. Yes, India's time 5 p.m. exactly. So somebody is asking the time, that is IST. Okay, Indian timing 5 to 6 p.m. Daily webinar, weekdays. Okay, we also have the YouTube channel, guys, with the same name, so you can go and check out our channel as well. We have a lot of information regarding every exam there as well. Well, somebody is asking, does working professionals with 10 years plus of experience need to take IELTS? Well, yes. So IELTS is not mandatory for everyone. I would say that it's just that it's better to check with your counselors or with your colleges or the country where you're trying to migrate and work or study, whatever. So it's better to have a little bit research on it so that you know that what kind of bands do you need, and what kind of paper is going to come. Either it will be academic or general training. Which one do you need to give, or do you need to give IELTS or not, or do you need to give TOEFL or whatever? So it's always better to research, okay, before you even take the exam by yourself. Where to get notes for IELTS? Well, as I said, click on the link in the description below. You will get access to notes. And time which it takes for the IELTS paper results for paper based is 13 days after your main day of the test. Okay. And after you have done your speaking. So after that, you get your result within 13 days. Okay. That means approx 2 weeks. And for computer based or CBT, you get your result within 4 to 5 days. All right. Well, 6.5 overall is a good score. It's not bad. But if you want to, increase your score, then definitely should look at these sessions which you are having. It will definitely help you. Yes, please. Of course. This is not just for IELTS taking candidates, it is also for improving your English, or even, even if you're willing to take IELTS in future, not right now, still I think you should take these sessions because these will be very helpful. You can just take down notes, you can practice some sample papers, you can go to our links, you can talk to our counselors. So yes, you will have a bundle of things to look at, right? So definitely, even if you're not willing to take the paper right away, you have some time to think about it. And side by side, you can take these sessions, which will be helpful for you. So validity for IELTS results is 2 years. So after 2 years, you have to give the IELTS exam again. Okay. So the validity for IELTS exam is 2 years. Yes, so you can just click on the link. You will get the IELTS calendar. You will get the link there to join, and how to join, that is also given in the description. So please do click on the link below just for registration for now, and you'll be able to join tomorrow's class as well as the other classes which we'll be having in the upcoming weekends. So weekdays, sorry. Okay. Yes, the links are given in the description below. Please check it out. So somebody is asking, ma'am, September intake for UK deadline of IELTS exam. So again, this question has to be addressed by the counselors, guys. Please do click on the registration link below to get in touch with the counselors for free counseling, so that they can tell you about the September intake or March intake or whichever intake you're planning to go for your IELTS exam. Okay. So yes, the video will be available to you. All these live videos will be available. They will be uploaded after, 1 or 2 days of the session. That means if today is the session, then maybe 1 or 2 days after the session, they will be uploaded on our site. And you can reach out to that site by clicking on the link below. So yes, if you have problem in speaking, or you want to enhance your speaking skills, definitely you should, wait till I come to that session, because right now we have started with reading. So first we'll be finishing up reading and the questions in detail. Okay. And then in the second week, we'll be taking up your listening paper. Then we'll be taking up your writing and speaking. Okay. So gradually we'll just go on. All right, guys, it was great having all of you. What a great response. I'm very happy. And definitely please click on the, description link below to get access to the free sample papers, to the other links, registration links, okay, for your upcoming classes. So there is only one link which you have to click right now to, register. You can also share this link with your friends, family, relatives, whoever you think, needs free classes for their training sessions, for their practice sessions. Definitely they should get access to this before it, moves out. So yes, today was the first day. It was good having all of you. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining, in with us. And also you can see the IELTS calendar, the schedule for the upcoming webinars. And of course, we'll be taking up tomorrow diagram-based question of IELTS. And yes, a very good and very great evening to all of you. Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye, guys. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow in the another session. So please keep your pen and pencils ready. All right.